Hi guys, very good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, let's continue our notes. I know many people will not join today because I have asked for assignment. Let's continue the class today. So tomorrow definitely I'll review that. Not today. Um,
Okay, sir.
let's go back to the notes. Defect life cycle. So you have taken the diagram, right? Defect life cycle.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now take down the notes. Take down the notes. Whenever customer gives the requirement, whenever customer gives the requirement, whenever customer gives the requirements, business analyst will go and collect the requirements. Whenever customer gives the requirements, a business analyst will go and collect the requirements. And then, so they will give it to the development team and QA team. And then they'll pass it, you can write. And then they'll pass it to the development team and QA team. Full stop. Development team, they'll start developing the software by looking into the requirements. Development team, they'll start developing the software by looking into the requirements. Meanwhile, QA team, meanwhile, QA team, meanwhile, QA team Meanwhile, QA team, they'll start writing a test cases. Meanwhile, QA team, they'll start writing a test cases by looking into the requirements. By looking into the requirements. You stop. Once development team develops the product, they will send the software to QA team. Once development team develops the product, Once the development team develop the product, they'll send it to the QA team. They will send it to the QA team. They'll send it to the QA team. Full stop. So testing team, they'll start testing the product. 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 Come on. While testing the product, they will find the bugs. While testing the product, while testing the product, they will find the bugs. They will find the bugs. Put one hyphen. Now they'll prepare the, like, now they'll log this defect. Now they will log this bug or a defect. Now they will log this bug or a defect in the defect tracking tool. Now they will log this bug or a defect in the defect tracking tool. The defect tracking tool. And then they will report it to the developers. And then they will report it to the developers. Full stop. See, look at this diagram. So usually we will not have this kind of a status like open. We see like new. Instead of open, we see the word new in Jira tool or in Azure DevOps. In my company, I never seen this kind of open, but some company, they might follow this open. So it depends. Whenever we create it, it will be like a new only, the status. And then it will be assigned to the developer. So developer, once he starts working, so once he fix it, then it will be like a QA team will pick it and they'll retest it. If it is fixed, they'll make it as, like, they'll make it as done. They'll make it as done, DOIN done. Or else they'll make it as reopen. So these status will be there. Okay. New, assigned, and in progress. I'll close this. Instead of this, I'll bring another diagram. This one. As I said, assigned. I'll remove one here. Means fixed means okay, done. That's it. By default, the loop is like this line is closed. Okay, means that defect is closed. Or else they'll make it as a reopen. So these are all the status will be there. Okay. Um, what you have written last line? Can you tell me? Can you read it? Last line.
And then they will report it to the developers.
They'll report it to the developers. Full stop. So now development. Now respective developer will pick this bug. Now respective developer will pick this bug. Now respective developers will pick this bug. Now respective developer will pick this bug and assign it to his name. And assign it to his name. He will change the status as assigned. Assign it to his name and he will change the status as assigned. 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 Once he fix the defect, he will change the status as RFT. He will change the status as RFT, means ready for testing. He will change the status as RFT. He will change the status as RFT, ready for testing. And then respective QA will pick this bug for retesting. And then the respective QA will pick this bug for retesting. The respective QA will pick this bug for retesting. Respective QA will pick this bug for retesting. Will pick this bug for retesting. And he will change the status as test in progress. And he will change the status as test in progress. And he will change the status as test in progress. And he will change the status as test in progress. And he will change the status as test in progress. He will change the status as test in progress. Full stop. If this bug is really fixed, if this bug is really fixed, then test engineer will add a comment saying that this defect is fixed. Then test engineer will add a comments in the comment section. Then test engineer will add the comments in the comment section. Test engineer will add the comments in the comment section saying that this defect is fixed, and he will change the status as done, D-O-N-E, done. He will change the status as done.
Sir, once again, sir.
Okay, if the defect is fixed, he will make it like he will change the status as done. He'll make a status as like he'll change the status as done. Full stop. If the defect is not fixed, 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 he will change the status as reopen. He means test engineer. He will change the status as reopen. He will change the status as reopen. And again, developer has to look into this bug and he should focus on fixing the bug. And again, developer has to look into this bug. Again, developer has to look into this bug and he should focus on fixing this bug. And he should focus on fixing this bug. Let's drop. Next line, next paragraph. So these are all the normal status which we come across. These are all the normal status which we come across while doing a testing. These are all the normal statuses we get it or we come across while doing a testing. Like open or a new, right? An open or a new and put one arrow mark in front of that, and then assign, open or new, put one arrow mark, assign, put one arrow mark, ready for testing, put one arrow mark, right arrow mark, then test in progress, then put one arrow mark, done or reopen, done slash, put one line, done slash reopen. Done slash reopen. Once again, I'll repeat. Open or a new, put one arrow mark, assign, put one arrow mark, are ready for testing, put one arrow mark, test in progress, put one arrow mark, done slash or reopen. So, apart from this, we will also get other statuses like Right on point number one, reject or not a defect. Reject or not a defect. Second point, duplicate. 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 Duplicates. Third one is cannot be fixed. Cannot be fixed. Fourth one is postponed. Postponed or fixed in the future release. Next, fifth one is not reproducible. Not reproducible. Not reproducible. And sixth one is RFE, request for enhancement. Request for enhancement. Full stop. So if anybody asks, can you please explain defect life cycle? You should explain till here, whatever I have given the notes. Starting from customer giving the requirements until here, whatever you have written. Okay. But apart from this, they'll ask why we get reject status, why we get duplicate status, why we get cannot be fixed. For that, I'm giving you answer now separately. If they ask that time, you need to answer these questions now. Okay, right on. Why we get a reject status? Question number one. Why do we get a reject status whenever? Why do we get a reject status? Why do we get a reject status whenever QA team raises the bug? Why do we get a reject status? Why do we get a reject status? Why do we get a reject status whenever QA team raises the defect? Whenever QA team raises the defect. Why do we get reject status whenever QA team raises the defect or a bug? Point number one. Answer. So chances are there test engineers, they would have misunderstood the requirements. Chances are there test engineers, they would have misunderstood the requirements. Chances are there test engineers, they would have misunderstood the requirements. Test engineers, they would have misunderstood the requirements. They would have misunderstood the requirements. And they would have raised the defects. And they would have raised the defect. And they would have raised the defect. Second point. Chances are there test engineers might be referring the old requirements. Test engineers might be referring the old requirements. Test engineers might be referring the old requirements. Test engineers might be referring the old requirements and testing the softwares. But but they are not referring the updated requirement document. But they are not referring the updated requirement document. But they are not referring the updated requirement document. But they are not referring the updated requirement document. But they are not referring the updated requirement document. That could be the reason. That could be the reason developers are rejecting the bug. That could be the reason developers are rejecting the bug. Developers are rejecting the bug. Next, second one, duplicate. Second one, heading, duplicate. Duplicate bugs. Answer for that. Or you can write why we get duplicate bugs. Why we get duplicate bugs. That is also a question. For that answer. Why we get duplicate bugs. Answer. So whenever test engineer finds the bug, whenever test engineer finds a bug, whenever test engineer finds a bug, whenever test engineer finds the bug, immediately he will go and create the, immediately he will go and log the bug. 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 Immediately he will go and log the bug in the defect tracking tool. Immediately he will go and log the bug in the defect tracking tool. In the defect tracking tool. In the defect tracking tool Jira or Azure DevOps. But he will never look into the backlog bugs. But he will never look into the backlog bugs. But he will never look into the backlog bugs to ensure whether anybody has created a similar defect or not. To ensure whether anyone has created the similar defect or not. Anyone has created the similar defect or not. To ensure anyone has created the similar defect or not. To ensure anyone has created the similar defect or not. to ensure anyone has created the similar defect or not. This could be the reason we are getting a duplicate bugs. Next, third one, cannot be fixed. Heading third one, cannot be fixed for or. Why we get cannot be fixed status for the bug or a defect? Why we get cannot be fixed a bug or a defect? Chances are there, test engineer finds the bug. Answer. Chances are there, test engineer finds the bug and send it to the development team. Test engineer finds the bug and send it to the development team. Test engineer finds the bug and send it to the development team. Development team, they look into the bug. Development team, they look into the bug. Development team, they look into the bug. They will look into the bug and they'll say cannot be fixed. They'll say cannot be fixed because of the following reason. And they'll say cannot be fixed because of the following reason. And they'll say cannot be fixed because of the following reason. Point number one, I mean sub point under that. Point number A, if you want to write, you can write it. Technology itself is not supporting to fix the bug. Technology itself is not supporting to fix the bug. Technology itself is not supporting to fix the bug. Technology itself is not supporting to fix the bug. Technology itself is not supporting to fix the bug. That means the programming language which we are using, the programming language which we are using, the programming language which we are using, the programming language that we are using, the programming language that we are using, it is not having a capability, it is not having a capability, it is not having a capability, it is not having a capability to solve the problem. It is not having a capability to solve the problem. It is not having a capability to solve the problem. It is not having a capability to solve the problem. Second point means sub point B. Point number B. A is over point number B. Whenever there is a bug in the root of the product, whenever there is a bug in the root of the product, whenever there is a bug in the root of the product, full stop. If it is a minor bug, if it is a minor bug, development team they can say cannot be fixed. If it is a minor bug, development team they can say cannot be fixed. Full stop. But, but, put a comma, but if it is a critical bug, but if it is a critical bug, development team cannot say that this reason. Development team cannot say this reason. They have to fix it. Development team cannot say this reason. They have to fix it. 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 Next, third point means point number C. A, B, C. No, point number C. If the cost of fixing the bug is more than the cost of a bug itself, this I've explained yesterday. If the cost of fixing the bug, if the cost of fixing the bug, let's say 6 lakh, put a bracket 6 lakh. If the cost of bug, if the cost of fixing the bug, if the cost of fixing the bug in the bracket 6 lakh is, close the bracket, is more than the cost of bug itself, is more than the cost of bug itself, is more than the cost of bug itself, is more than the cost of bug itself. If the cost of fixing the bug is more than the cost of bug itself, more than the cost of bug itself, in the bracket rupee 1 rupee. So that time they'll say cannot be fixed. That time they'll say cannot be fixed. That time they'll say cannot be fixed. Next, heading, fourth one, postponed or fixed in the future release. Postponed or fixed in the future release. Postponed or fixed in the future release heading. Or you can write one more question. Why do we get postponed status for the bug or a defect? Next line if you want to write. Why do we get a postponed status for the bug or a defect? Why do we get the postponed status for the bug or a defect? Completed. Okay. For that answer. Uh, so whenever a test engineer finds a bug during the end of the release, whenever test engineer finds a bug during end of the release or end of the sprint, whenever test engineer finds a bug during end of the release, whenever test engineer finds a bug during end of the release or end of the sprint, come on, developers they don't have a time to fix the bug. Developers they don't have a time to fix the bug. Developers developers they don't have a time to fix the bug. In such cases, in such cases, in such case, bug will be postponed to next release. In such case, bug will be postponed. In such cases, bug will be postponed and fixed in the next release or next sprint. In such case, the bug will be postponed. In such case, bug will be postponed and fixed in the next release. Bug will be postponed and fixed in the next release. So this is point number A in the postponed status. Another point number B. Chances are there test engineers find the bug. Chances are there test engineers find the bug in the software application, in the software application, in the software application on any one of the feature. Chances are there test engineer finds the bug in the software application on any one of the feature, on any one of the feature, on any one of the feature, comma. Even customer is also trying to make some changes in the requirements. Even customer is also trying to make some, even customer is also, even customer is also trying to make some changes. Even customer is also trying to make requirement changes. Even customer is also trying to make some requirement changes. Even customer is also trying to make some requirement changes in the same feature, in the same feature, in the same feature. In this case, in this case, developer says that, developer says that, developer says that, yes, I consider this as a defect, but yes, I consider this as a defect. 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 But customer is trying to make some changes in the same requirement. Customer is trying to make some changes in the same requirement. But customer is trying to make some changes in the same requirement. So, so I'm updating the status as postponed. So I'm updating the status as postponed. I'm updating the status as postponed. Fixed in the future release. Okay, next one more. Point number C. If if testing team finds the minor bug, if the testing team finds the minor bug, if the testing team finds the minor bug and which is exposed to the internal user and which is exposed to the internal user and which is exposed to the internal user of a company, and which is exposed to the internal user of the company, if testing team finds a minor bug and which is exposed to the internal user of a company, so that time development team says that postpone. That time development team says that we are postponing this bug. That time development team says that we are postponing this bug. Development team says that we are postponing this bug and it will be fixed in the future release. And it will be fixed in the future release. It will be fixed in the future release. Okay, that's all about postpone. Next heading, not reproducible. Chances are there developers are not able to reproduce the same defect or a bug. Chances are there developers are not able to reproduce or reopen. Developers are not able to reproduce or reopen the same defect. Chances are there developers are not able to reproduce or reopen a same defect or a bug, same defect or bug, which is logged by the testing team, 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 which is logged by the testing team. Which is logged by the testing team. Which is logged by the testing team because of the following reasons. Because of the following reasons. Point number one, maybe because of the platform mismatch. Point number one, maybe because of the platform mismatch. It could be a continuation. It could be a data mismatch. It could be a data mismatch. Wait. It could be a OS mismatch. It could be a operating system OS mismatch, comma browser mismatch, browser mismatch. Because you found a bug in Chrome browser, developer is open it in the Firefox browser, is not getting it. That is the meaning. Or you are testing it in Windows, developer is testing it in the Mac. So that could be the reason. So because of the platform mismatch, that could be OS mismatch, comma browser mismatch, or browser version mismatch, etc. Or browser version mismatch, etc. Second point, because of the data mismatch, because of the data mismatch, testing team, they would have not written the exact data in the defect report. Test engineers, they would have not written the exact data in the defect report or reproducible steps.
So can you repeat?
Test engineers, they would have not written the proper data in the defect report or reproducible steps. Defect report or reproducible steps, both are same. They would have not written the proper data in the defect report or reproducible steps. Third point, it could be a because of the build mismatch, we get a reproducible status. It could be a because of build mismatch. 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 Next, it could be a because of the inconsistent defect. It could be a because of inconsistent defect. Which means sometimes defect will appear and sometimes it will not appear. Sometimes defect will appear, sometimes defect will not appear. Okay. So that's about not reproducible. Next, RFE, request for enhancement. Last one. RFE, request for enhancement. Request for enhancement. So test engineer will find the bug and send it to the development team.
Sir, once again, sir.
Test engineers, whenever find the bug and send it to the development team, development team, they will not consider as a bug. They'll not consider as a bug. Instead of that, instead of that, they say it is enhancement feature. They say it's an enhancement feature. It's an enhancement feature. Come on, we can talk to the customer. We can get it added. We can talk to the customer. We can get it added as a. We can talk to the customer and get it added as a request for enhancement feature. We can talk to the customer and get it added as a request for enhancement feature. Completed. Okay, so that's all about the entire defect life cycle. Okay, so this is more than enough to answer in the interview. Next, we can discuss how we get this defect, even though we do the testing, why these defects are coming, how these defects are going to appear in the software. And okay, let me write what is defect. What is defect and what is defect, bug, error, and failure. This question they'll ask. Then next, why the bug is going to occur in the software? Why do bugs occur or appear in the software? We'll discuss this now. So what is defect? Defect is nothing but if the feature is not working according to the requirement, means I want to enter a valid username, valid password, click on login, it should work. But login button is not working. So which is not working according to the requirements. A feature is not working according to the requirements is called as a defect, or deviation from the requirement specification is called as a defect. So what do you mean by defect, bug, error, failure? This is also very, very important, famous interview question. Defect means, as you know that, okay, so if it is not working according to the requirement specification, we call it as a defect. Bug means it's a informal name, means instead of calling it as a defect, we're calling it as a bug. So informal name given to the defect. Error means whenever we are running a program, okay, so when you are running automation script, something goes wrong. That time you get a page exception error, like stale element exception error, or loop error, something like that. You will be getting errors. So whenever you have made a mistake in the program, whenever you have made a mistake in the program, because of that mistake, we are unable to compile or run that program. So that time we will be getting this error. Failure means, so chances are there, so you have a defect in the software, so login button is not working. Because of that, we will not be able to log in inside, and because of that defect, you will not be able to go inside, so the entire application is a failure. We will not be able to perform other activities inside that application. So one defect might cause one failure, or it might be a multiple failure. So that could be the reason. So that is all about a defect, bug, error, and failure. So why do we get these bugs in the software? Chances are there, a developer, they would have done a wrong implementation. Okay, wrong implementation means, okay, so customer has asked to develop login feature, home page, and then sales page, and customer page, and then stock page. When I click on stock, it should go to stock or it should go to login? You tell me. When I click on stock feature, it should go to login or stock feature?
Stock feature.
But when I click on
Stock.
stock, it is going to the login page. Is it correct?
No, sir.
When I click on stock, it is going to the sales page. Is it correct?
No. No, sir.
So he has made a wrong implementation in the code. So because of that, we are finding a bug. So this could be the one reason. Or he would have missed some of the features. Missing implementation. Means, okay, customer has requested login, home page, sales, customer stock, and logout. He has not developed a logout feature. Missing implementation. He has not developed logout itself. Let's say logout feature missing. And because of the extra implementation. So the customer has requested only these features. What he will do? He will try to develop extra feature called help, which is not there in the requirement. And I consider this as a defect because being a QA, I am responsible to test the software which is according to the requirements. This help feature is not at all there in the requirement. This bugger has developed it. I cannot consider as a feature. I will say it's a bug only, which is not there in the requirement. If you want to add it here, you talk to the customer, get added that requirement to the requirement list, then I consider as a feature. Otherwise, I consider as a bug only. So because of this extra feature, I'm considering as a defect. So by all this, because of all these reasons, we are getting a bugs in the software. Okay, now please take down notes. What is defect? Heading. What is defect? What is defect? If a feature is not working according to the requirements, if the feature is not working according to the requirements, is called defect. If the feature is not working according to the requirements, is called a defect. One more answer, or. If the feature is getting deviated from the requirement specification,
Can you repeat?
yes, if the feature is deviated from the requirement specification, is called as a defect. Is called as a defect. I'll stop it now. So tomorrow I'll give a notes for remaining stuff, and then we are going to start with test plan. Tomorrow I will discuss about a test plan and a traceability matrix. If I finish these two topics, these two are the biggest topics. Then remaining I can finish it by Thursday or Friday. We can complete the entire portion. So we left out with few topics like some bugs related stuff, and then how to test payment gateway. How to test payment gateway, and remaining all are small topic. We can take it forward. Okay, I'll stop it now. Let me stop the recording. Yeah, today less people are there. Tomorrow I'll review that assignment.